Hello, welcome to the Witless Productions Podcast, Episode 1, Rebooted. It's not going to say that in the title, but still, I thought I'd put that out there. Today, we're going to talk about video games. And today I have an old friend here with me, Trevor. How you doing, Trevor?
Hello, everyone. I am doing A-okay, and I'm glad to finally have gotten together with you to put the sounds in the ears.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Well, I guess we should just start talking about games we've been playing lately.
Also, when you say that you shouldn't, call it reboot, in my mind, I think that you should do, this really wacky Photoshop where it's, super 80s action logo, reboot kind of thing.
Yeah. You know what I'm gonna... Yeah, I'll think of something like that.
Just something, I don't know, goofy. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Let's talk the games.
Right. You know what? Let's begin with Battlefront 2. EA's Battlefront 2. So, what's your opinion on it, Trevor?
So, before I start, I'll begin with the fact that we all know, or, generally most people will know that there was large controversy regarding the game and how it was known to be pay to win and et cetera, and about how players did math to learn how long it would take to unlock all the heroes and so on and so forth. And to me, I didn't necessarily take any of that into account when I wanted the game. It's Star Wars, I love Star Wars, I loved Battlefront 1, so I knew I wanted to play the game anyway. Obviously, you know that I am very into getting platinums of games, so I was like, okay, it's going to suck if I'm not going to get a platinum, but of course I still want to play it, it's a fun game. So, needless to say, I'm by no means able to buy games whenever I want, so I wasn't getting it on release. So, all of that was to say that I missed out on, all of the fix of the big mess they made.
Yeah.
So, from what I've played, which isn't honestly that much, 3-4 hours maybe, and I really do enjoy it. And I remember, I think it was me, Mason, and Evan, and we were on Tatooine, and I was like, oh my god, look at this creature, oh my god, look at that creature, and I was just so excited to see the actual, creatures in the world of Star Wars coming to life, and in all the maps you can see the people who live in these places running around and hiding from the war, and just robots and droids everywhere, and I'm like, this is absolutely wonderful. And that so far has been what's made the game for me. And as far as actual gameplay and everything, I would say that of course Battlefront 1 already was a very tight and well-cleaned shooter, and this one still follows that. My one gripe, which I have made to both Evan and Mason, and they completely agree, is that all of the game modes, you don't really know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
you just get in there, and it's there's usually two things on your map, attack or defend this thing, and it's okay, well, once we do that, then what?
Yeah, that's true.
And then you're just how long's this match gonna be? What are we gonna do here? How are there rounds? In the original, what was it? Walker Assault, I believe.
Yeah, Walker Assault.
It was okay, you have to defend this row, this row, this row. If you lose all those objectives, you lose for real. And in this one, it's I don't know, maybe there's 5 or 6. I don't know, it just keeps happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, so far, I thoroughly enjoy the game because I'm a big Star Wars fan. It looks gorgeous, and it's a good shooter, and I mean, like I said, they could make things more clear. And so far, I've played just a little bit of each game mode, and probably my favorite is the Walker Assault, whatever that version is in this game.
Yeah.
I like being on the ground as like either side's troops and like fighting it out, and then like a hero pops up and you hate yourself for being destroyed by them, but it's still
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Like, I'll say the best thing about it really is like the feel, like you kind of said already. Like it feels like Star Wars. Like the sounds,
Yeah.
it sounds amazing. Like all the lasers and shit, like it just makes me
Oh
wanna
yeah, oh
fucking
my god.
bust.
And in what mode am I thinking? Heroes versus villains. When you have like a Darth Maul, Kylo Ren, Vader, Palpatine, and then Yoda, Luke, Rey, and whoever else, and there's just like a ton of lightsabers just going off. I'm like, oh my god, yes.
Yeah,
Just
that
so
is
many.
probably the best part.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I absolutely love the sound effects, and like I think in a sense the first one was a bit more arcadey, cartoony, but this one
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily lose that, but it also feels like as dumb as it sounds, it feels more realistic for a Star Wars.
Yeah. I'd say my least favorite thing about this one though is the campaign. It's, in my opinion, it's not very good. I tried to get into it like 3 times and I just can't do it.
Yeah, I've not even touched that at all yet. I know,
Yeah.
like, listening to podcast that when it was coming out, it sounded super interesting. All I know
Yeah.
is that it's from the Imperial side, so, like, yeah, that's a cool take on it. And, you know, as far as I know, or that anything I've experienced, there's not really been much to show that side in a way like that.
Yeah. Thing is, like, I'm not trying to like do spoilers or anything,
Right.
but like, I thought maybe you'd be on the bad guy's side for the whole time, and I feel like that would have been more interesting.
Yeah.
But like, kind of in the middle, not trying to spoil anything, even though I kind of am. You kind of just go to the rebel side, and that's all I really say. And I feel like that was a bad move.
Yeah. And, but the Force Unleashed, weren't you, like, what were you exactly? Weren't you supposed to be fighting for the dark side?
You are in the beginning, but then you kind of rebel against Vader.
Yeah.
You're not really anything. You're just a dude with a lightsaber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I only played the second one of those, so I was like, I don't know the story, but
The first one's so much better.
it was still fun to play because I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm in the Star Wars.
Yeah. For real.
I think as far as Battlefront 2 goes, oh my god, a pop-up. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I really enjoy like the wide array of maps that I've played on so far, from like the original trilogy to
Sequel saga, as we'll call it.
yeah,
Prequel, sequel saga.
the words, the new episodes.
Yeah.
Wait, what am I talking about? Are there prequel trilogy maps?
Yeah, there is. Like Naboo, you get to play as the droids and the clones and all that.
Is that the one where they have those big, like, hairy, like, giant-sized buffaloed creatures? Or is that
No.
Tatooine?
Giant-sized buffalo creatures.
Yeah, man. They're
Like
man.
the
When I
dudes that
saw
are
them,
with the Gungans or whatever.
I don't remember exactly. It was definitely a desert planet, and
Oh, that's the Tatooine. That's
Okay,
Tatooine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like, when I first started it, I ran out into the street and I was like, oh my god, there's this weird dick-shaped dinosaur dude, and he's like walking past me, and this is awesome, and he's like, what, leave me alone. and then like when you walk through the alleyways, there's like these hairy creatures just like tied to posts, and I'm like, oh, you're some weird cattle.
Oh, those are called banthas.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was trying to think of the name, and yeah,
The
they're
big buffalo
banthas.
guys.
Yeah. It was. I remember that. I always remember it because there's that really cringy line in the first prequel movie where Sebulba goes, "You're Bantha Poodoo" or something, and it's.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Also, unless you want to say anything more about this game.
Nah. Basically,
Uh,
Battlefront, yeah.
I started playing Fortnite because, well, we haven't played it together yet, but I played
Yeah.
like a couple matches, and that game's really interesting, and I enjoyed it, but I feel like it's one of those games in the same sense that PUBG will be like, there's these like expert people who know like exactly how to win and everything.
That's exactly how it is, man. Like, I've been playing PUBG too on my computer,
Yeah.
and I'm like, man, I get to like the last 20 people alive, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna do so good, and I have all this nice shit, and then they just fucking kill me, every fucking time.
Yeah, like in one of the matches I did, I I like the idea that you can just get into these games and learn how to use everything yourself, and that
Yeah,
you can create your own style of play around the items you find is kind of the idea, obviously, and it's like
yeah,
that for most games. And
yeah,
like I remember I picked up like this item that was like a bush or something. I was like, oh cool, it's camouflage, so I can like put on a bush and then I can take it off and camp somewhere else. No, you put the bush on and it just stays there.
yep.
Stays there until
Really
you
fucking
get.
annoying.
I had to Google it. I had to Google it. It was like, the bush doesn't disappear until you get damaged 3 times. And I was like,
Yep.
well, I didn't get damaged 3 times, and then I just died because I was running around with a bush on me.
Yeah. That's the one thing I don't like about the bush. Honestly, I don't like the bush at all.
Yeah, I probably would have never used it again. That was the only time I encountered it.
Yeah.
I typically don't do good. Like, it's pretty easy to survive the first 50, just drop where there aren't other people.
Yeah.
But usually if I do get into 20, I'm like doing pretty decent. I've gotten like 2 or 3 kills, which is perfectly fine, and then like some guy will come out of nowhere and like there are people, and I haven't played it enough to like know this method, but like they just start building stuff around them so fast, and they're like building like towers straight up to avoid taking damage. I'm like, I can't fight that.
Yeah. Fucking, yeah, I've won a couple. I've been playing on Xbox and, PlayStation. PlayStation I don't do as good because, like, Justin, you know Sergeant Orange.
Yeah.
Like, he is so freaking good at that game, man. Like,
Is
I
that all
wouldn't
he
even.
plays?
He plays a lot of stuff, man, but, like, that dude is just pro at everything he plays. Like, I don't understand it. Like, Call of Duty, he's so freaking good at that, too, but. God.
Have you played World War II?
Yeah, I own it on Xbox. It's a decent game. It's still better than the last 3, honestly.
Yeah, I started Advanced War, no, Infinite Warfare, and I was like, I had really been craving a Call of Duty game. Like, I wanted to play a fast-paced shooter, so I was like, okay, I'll get on this. And I went to multiplayer like straight away because I knew that's what I was in the mood to play. And then just jetpacks everywhere, and I was like, nope, I am done, I am out, and I
Yeah.
deleted the game, and I was set on just like selling the game, never thinking about it again. But a part of me feels like that's disingenuous because I have heard from multiple people that the game does have a pretty solid and good campaign, and I'm like, I know I don't have to play the multiplayer. Like, completely discrediting the entire game is like pretty just
Yeah.
dumb to do. And so I was like, no, I'll keep the game. I will get back to it when I'm feeling more accepting of future robots.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't really like the campaign for Advanced Warfare. I didn't really like anything about that game, man. Like, the zombies was bad, the freaking multiplayer was
Yeah,
bad.
I have played like maybe a match or two with Mason and Evan, and I was like not impressed by it. Like we only did I don't know if there are multiple maps. Every Call of Duty there has been, but I just played on like the one that has the clowns and like the carnival like place.
Oh, you're
I,
talking about Infinite Warfare?
yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Advanced Warfare.
Well, I said advanced at first, and then I
Oh, okay.
um fixed my words.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Advanced Warfare, no, I definitely didn't care much for at all.
Nah, the multiplayer is probably the worst I've played in any Call of Duty in Infinite Warfare. Like, but honestly, I think the zombies is fun and it's interesting. And the campaign, honestly, from what I played, was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
Even though there was like, a lot of the ships look so much like Halo ships, it's not even funny, dude.
Um, I, I'm tired of the future garbage. Like,
Me too.
I don't know. And, like, kind of as a random topic, real quick, in the same sense that the market always gets oversaturated with stuff, like,
Yeah.
I know everyone says this. I heard it myself on Podcast Beyond, and I wholeheartedly agree that Call of Duty needs a 2 or 3 year break, and they need to stop, like, jerking one out every year just to have, like, the most money in their banks to put out another mediocre game.
Yeah, I agree, man.
And, I mean, look at Assassin's Creed, because I've not played Origins, but everyone says that it's really good, and from,
Yeah.
like, Unity, we all know that was, like, the slap in the face for
That was
Ubisoft,
so
where they were
bad.
like, we need to stop, and we need to figure this out. And that was what
Yeah.
they needed, and that's what helped them.
Yeah.
And I, f- I mean, obviously, I'm one person, and that's a corporation of like thousands or more people. But like, maybe they need to have that humbling moment where they realize, even though they could make something that's gonna top the MPD charts or whatever it's called, like yearly or monthly, for the longest time, that's not something they should be proud of.
Yeah. I agree. But yeah, to add on to the Origins is really good. Like, I was so surprised.
Yeah, Beyond says it's. I'll talk about Podcast Beyond a lot, by the way. That's why
That's fine.
I keep saying that. Well, like, for the listeners to know, I am
Yeah.
an avid Beyond listener, and the Comedy Button, they host some of the same people. And they were talking about how it's kind of like The Witcher, and I'm totally sold on that. Like, that's all I have to hear.
Yeah, it actually is. A lot
Oh
of
my
things are
God.
like The Witcher.
Yeah.
The weapon system is a lot like Destiny, though.
Like, and how you can enhance them?
Yeah, kind of, but like, what's a better example? Like, you know how there's like purple, orange, silver weapons, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
Rarities.
that. Yeah, it's like that.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, that's pretty good. I feel like, from the best of my memory, because from Unity, that was the last one I really attempted to play,
Yeah.
and then I never played Black Flag, and then
Good game.
Syndicate I have started,
I
and
hate that game.
then what's the other one? Is that the only 3 on this gen?
Yes, that is.
Yeah, I feel like most of the weapons are just kind of like it doesn't really matter.
It's true, man. It also didn't help in Syndicate when the enemies were fucking bullet sponges.
I'll
You
say
could just
this
keep hitting them and they
about
wouldn't
Unity.
die.
Yeah, in Unity, the enemies were way, like, I don't know. Like, maybe I was doing something wrong, but it felt like they were overpowered. And in Syndicate, which I've only played maybe an hour of, like, what are the chapters called in that game?
I don't even remember, dude.
I don't know. Like, we'll call them sinks or something. I don't know. So you sink like 3 times or whatever, and I did like that many, and then I was
Yeah.
like, I'm all right for now. I'll stop playing, and it wasn't like a bad experience, but it wasn't fun.
Yeah, that's the
It
thing
was-
about Syndicate.
It was
wasn't
just
fun.
it was mindless, I guess. That's the best way to put it. Because I don't want to say it wasn't fun. Like, if it wasn't fun, I wouldn't have played it.
Yeah,
My only real issue so far is that the movement is just so, like, that's part of what makes it so mindless. You just hold R2 and then whatever button if you want to go up or down, and then it does it for you.
yeah. They actually got rid of the free run button, so you just free run.
Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I hate that so much because then it's just like, not even because it makes some things so easy, but it also makes things not work how you want them to.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I wanna run across this thing and then jump. Oh my god, I'm going left. I never said to go left.
Yeah. Yeah,
And-
even though I love the originals, it had that problem too.
Oh, something fell. That's okay. Yeah, you know that, as I tell everyone, the original will always be my favorite.
Yeah.
And I know everyone's like 2 is the best. I like
yeah, 2's my favorite.
2. It's definitely my second favorite, but the original is just like, that was just the best to me.
Yeah. I
And
do
it's
like
been-
Altair.
It's
I
been
think
too
Altair's
long.
a better character.
Yeah, it's been too long that I can actually like go into detail and explain why I think that. It's just like one of those like things you hold in your heart dearly kind of thing, I
Yeah.
guess.
I completely understand that, man.
One game I also played and thoroughly enjoyed, which I don't remember if you've played, was Firewatch. Did you play that one?
No, I never played that actually.
Oh my god, it is so good.
Really?
Like, most people, we all know there are people who are like, I don't want to pay like $20 for a 4-hour game, or $40 for a 6-hour game, or $60 for an 8-hour game, and like,
Yeah.
people try to dictate something's worth to how long you're going to play it. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole different topic, but Firewatch is just such a solid experience. Like, there's all these different terms like, oh, it's an experience, or it's a game, or it's an interactive whatever, and I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
it just, try different things. And for me, not fireworks. Firewatch was more of an experience because, I mean, you only get a really short time to know the characters, but I feel like their story's powerful enough that you feel for these people, and you want them to be happy, and you want them, like, I'll tell you this much, I mean, there's not like a really big like climatic change in their lives or anything. I called it more like a slice of life thing. Like, you experience a couple days and you see what they're dealing with, and basically, for those listening, if you don't know the premise of the game, you what's the best way to put it? Basically, you just take a job as a park ranger to get away from the things that you had been dealing with in your character's life, and you meet this lady who's also a park ranger. She kind of like oversees all the stations, and you befriend her, and both of you start opening up to each other about like, there's a whole idea like, oh, you're a park ranger, that means you wanted to get away from the real world, you're isolating yourself out here.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why I call it slice of life. It's just these two people like talking, and you're just spending your time in the wilderness, and you have like a few different adventures, and then that's all. Like there's no like big huge twists or turns. You're just experiencing someone's life.
Yeah. Huh.
And I don't know if you remember, but as soon as you start the game, there's like, I don't know how to put it. I guess like dialogue screens, and you might remember I posted like a few pictures from those screens, because you don't hear characters' voices or anything, but it's just the man and his wife like talking, and then it's just like, it's so grounded and believable, and it's like, could this be me in 20 or 30 years? Like, is this a future I could have? And if you take it in that sense, then this game is really powerful, because most games obviously are about like being in space or doing something that you don't do in your everyday life, and that's why I really appreciate these like just simple games that are grounded in reality and about like day-to-day living, and like the atrocities that we as humans basically have to deal with and figure out like, how are we going to move on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely recommend that game.
Damn. Actually makes me kind of want to play it now.
Yeah, it's got goofy stuff in it too, like one part, it's not really a spoil, but I don't really want to give it away either. Like, there are some teen girls you encounter, and they're like, oh my god, you're a peeping Tom, you're trying to watch us swim naked, and he's like, these girls, how do I deal with them? Because he's like, he doesn't, obviously if he does run out, they'll think, oh my god, like he's trying to see me naked and everything, and he's just like, what do I do?
Yeah. Huh.
What about you, Dylan? Any games like that you feel passionate about lately?
Really, honestly, the best game I played last year was Persona 5.
Oh my god. I am so down for that game.
Yeah, like, that and Breath of the Wild, Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I've
Both
heard
of those
a ton
games
of
were fucking phenomenal.
That's, like, last year, which it's kind of hard to believe that it's still continuing. Like, it was just a powerhouse of, like, amazing games, and a lot of them that people don't even think about or get credited. Like, I haven't played most of them because, obviously, as you know, I have a really huge backlog of games that I'm trying to work through.
Yeah,
and
I
between
do too.
Work and school, it's a very, very slow process. So,
yeah.
Like, I didn't play most of, like, I played not even a minority of the, like, really good games that came out last year.
Yeah.
And one of the ones I really want to play still that most people didn't even, like, remember or consider was Hellblade is it Senua Sacrifice? Something like that.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That game looks fucking... Honestly, it looks scary, dude.
Well, that's the thing, like, it's supposed to be scary, but not in the sense, like, visually of what you see around you, like, jump scares or anything like that, like spooky horse demons or something.
Yeah.
But it's just the idea, because it deals with mental illness at its core, and I mean, it's just kind of, I guess, scary for anyone in that position to deal with. And then being like how I was talking about Firewatch. I keep trying to say fireworks. Jesus. Like you're in this girl's shoes and you're experiencing the illnesses that she has to try and deal with. So in a sense, I think it's that is scary.
Yeah, for real. Like, I don't know much about it, but I remember it just came out of nowhere.
It really did, because
Like,
I remember.
I just saw a review for it on IGN, and I was like, what the hell?
Like, I don't remember what it was. I was on YouTube or something, and these ads kept popping up where I was like, oh, if this is such a good game, why didn't I hear about it until, like, right now when it's apparently released?
Yeah. Let's see.
One thing I realized also yesterday, or the day before, me and Mason were on, and we were like, we should play something. And I was like, it's been a while since I played Destiny 2. I'm down for that. So we get on. Oh my god, how much do I hate grinding and leveling new characters.
Yeah, and I've heard I was part of the first, like, wave of Destiny 2 players, and the game was awesome back then. And then I stopped playing for a couple months, and I kept hearing these terrible things about it, like how the Destiny 2 community is so pissed off about something. I don't know what it is, but apparently Bungie's screwing up the game and everything, and I'm like, why? Why does this keep happening?
Is it with their DLC?
It's not even the deal. Well, it's that, and, like, apparently they made something so people had to buy microtransactions or something. I don't know. Some bullshit like that. I don't know. I'll have to read up on it again.
Yeah, I've not really heard that. Like, in Destiny 1, I was an avid player of that for the longest time, like multiplayer, and I did end up platinuming that game, and it was the same issue with that. When you start a new character, it is just such a slow, like, it just burns you out so fast to grind and try to make these characters up to level 20, and then, like, I'm not even worried about getting them raid ready. I'm just trying to get them up to the max level.
Yeah.
And then in Destiny 2, it's the same thing. You gotta drag yourself through the story, and I'm just kind of like, well, I mean, it's not horrible, but there should be a better way to do this. There needs to be a way that you have your primary character and you can experience the story fully, and then there should be options like, this is another character, I don't want to deal with the story, I want to just focus on leveling, I want to get this done, and like, there are plenty of people out there who want multiple characters to be raid ready, and it should be more like lenient and appealing in that sense, because it is an MMO.
Yeah, I agree. Destiny 1 actually did that after a minute. You could, like, get a level up boost once the other DLCs came out, and they just brought you to the level that you needed to be, and you could just go play the DLC.
Yeah, that I remember. Yeah, I kind of skipped over what I was going to say about the DLC. That's what really turned me off about the Destiny 1, is that, like, there were the first 2 expansions that were just kind of there, like, I don't even remember what they called, and I don't really remember what they added. It was just there, and I was like, okay, I paid for these, it is what it is. And then, boom, like, whatever the next 1 or 2 really big ones were, and it was like, you don't get these with your pass. You have to buy these, you have to pay, what was it, like, $40?
Yeah, the Taken King was $40.
Yeah, it was $40.
And it didn't even add that much.
Yeah, it was just a raid, like a decent raid. It was $40, or you had to buy the $60 edition that includes all of the DLC. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. That is dumb. Which
What's sad is I did it.
Yeah, I know I talked earlier about how, like, lengths of something should not equate to how much something costs, but this is like an MMO we're talking about. This is a raid you're basically paying $40 for, or some, like, new weapons or something. Like, it's just not appealing to me. Like, I understand there are plenty of people out there who play games like Team Fortress still, and what are the really big ones lately that are?
CS:GO,
Yeah,
League of
CS:GO.
Legends.
What's the really big one lately by Blizzard?
Oh, Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch, and microtransactions and that are just like skins and stuff. They
Yeah.
don't boost your playing of like your not abilities, but like the weapons and stuff and how it could affect you doing better and online and whatnot. And
Yeah.
I think like that was the same sense of what Star Wars Battlefront 2 was essentially doing. It gave players the opportunity to buy their way to winning more often, whereas the games I had previously listed, they just sell like hats and skins and stuff.
Yeah.
DLCs are dumb and weird. That is the synopsis of that rant.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, you could spend $20 on an expansion. It was a whole new story and a whole new world.
Yeah, like Xbox, I remember like we'd pay what 1,600 Microsoft points were $20. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get the new Halo 3 DLC," and
Yeah.
then that was perfectly fine though because you would spend endless amounts of time like playing around on new maps and creating custom games and that kind of stuff. Whereas
Yeah.
like the Destiny expansion, you pay $40 for. You do the raid once or twice, and then you can grind. And I already gave my speech about how I feel about grinding.
Yeah.
It's just not rewarding.
Yeah. Man, I miss the old Halo 3 Bungie days.
I know I had those Snapchats about how like those kids were at my house and I set up Halo 3 for them, and I just
Oh,
stood in my
yeah.
room and watched them for a bit, and I was like, this was this was life in middle school.
Yeah, dude. God, I played that game for a whole year nonstop, and I was so good at it, too.
Yeah, we played that game for the longest time, like 3 or 4
Yeah.
years easily, and
Yeah.
then went
Then
back to
Halo
it
Reach
after.
came out.
And then the game after that was Grand Theft Auto 5, which is the perfect segue
Oh
for
my
us.
god, dude. GTA 5. We played that, like, back when you were still on Xbox and stuff. Like, I know you played that a lot, too.
Yeah,
But me, Evan, and Mason, we've been playing that. Well, we stopped last year, but we played that game for almost 4 years straight. Like,
exactly.
that was my most played PS3 game, and probably still my most played PS4 game. It is fucking crazy.
Like, everyone's butthurt over, like, why is there no DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5? Maybe they don't think it needs it. Maybe it doesn't need it. Like, I don't think it does.
It would be nice, but I'm okay with it, I guess.
And then, like, online, people don't realize it, but online really is a solid, like, entity of itself.
Yeah, that's true.
They've continued to support it over, like, all these years, and it has enough, like, interesting stuff, and with the recent, Doomsday heist, it has been interesting enough that us personally, we have all like got the game again and we're getting back into it.
Yeah,
Which I was really, I don't know, like kind of the way we play around on the game sometimes is that one of us will do dumb stuff for a while, which, in a certain mood, I'll be like, all right, this is fun, I'll mess around. And then other times where I get on the game, I'm like, I want to do heist, I want to, like, make progress and make money. I'm like, this
yeah,
is kind of wasting time. But it is what it is because, you're just supposed to enjoy the game. And we got on, and I was like, yes, we are gonna do a heist. Oh, no, we can't because Grand Theft Auto in all of its time hasn't made a better way to meet new players and like be able to fill in a hole or holes in a team should you need to.
yeah. So I had to go out and buy it again.
Right.
I should have never sold it, dude.
You really shouldn't have.
I
Because, no, we didn't play it for a year, but it is a solid, perfect game. And I don't,
I agree.
like, obviously, perfect is different for everyone. Like,
Yeah. It's
I
perfect in
just,
its own way.
it's, we'll just say it this way, it's got very high, super high replayability.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not including online. Online is
Yeah.
its entire own beast.
Yeah.
But also, because we have gone back to that, I was kind of happy about that too, because that also gives me another chance to get the platinum for it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I did start it again, like maybe the beginning of summer or something. Last year, I had definitely at some point started to work on it again, and I was like, with all the online stuff, no, it's not necessarily difficult. It definitely won't take as much time as doing all the single player stuff. But is it really going to be worth it when I have to do it alone?
Yeah, for real.
But now that we're back on, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go for it, and hopefully it will turn out to be a good experience, because what I had realized in the last year or two is that
Mm-hmm.
if I let a game sit for a year or two or longer, then the chances of me actually going back and finishing it, let alone getting the platinum, are super slim.
Yeah.
Which is kind of dumb, I guess, because like The Last of Us, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna platinum this. I started again. I played through an entire second season or whatever it's called of multiplayer, where you choose a faction and play through all of it.
Oh, yeah.
I did all of that, started the campaign, and I was like, well, now I'm not feeling it, so why would I keep playing this and then ruin a perfect game?
Yeah. That's
So I
true.
ended up scrapping that idea, and then the other game that I was kind of upset over not getting to platinum was Transistor, because it's made by Supergiant Games, which I am super into. They make wonderful games, and I bought Pyre, and I'm excited to play that one.
Oh, yeah,
But
that's their newest one,
Transistor,
huh?
yeah, Transistor was like, I had already started a New Game Plus game, like, from the last time, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years prior to playing it, and then I was like, I don't know how to do this,
Yeah.
and I don't want to have to like learn every move and skill set and everything else again, and make this game not as fun and good of an experience as it was the first time.
Yeah. Let's see. What should the next topic be? Should we go into Persona?
Yeah, I was thinking that too, since you already briefly brought up Persona 5.
Yeah. So I think mainly I'll just do my review. So,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna compare it to 4 a little bit. So Persona 5, waited years for this game. Like, and it didn't disappoint, but there are some things that I liked in 4 more. Like, the characters in 4 are nearly perfect. I loved almost every single one. The only one that I don't really like in 4 is Rise. Have you met Rise yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just find her obnoxious.
I
I think
mean,
that's why I don't like her.
I think she's supposed to be like the cutesy girl that everyone's after, and it's like, yeah, she's a personality star, but outside of that, she's still like an adorable, like, easy to like, outgoing girl.
Yeah, yeah.
I understand what you mean, though. She's like, purposefully goes out of her way. She's like, Senpai,
Yeah.
am I gonna get to ride on the back of your motorcycle? And I'm like, no, ho. I have a different waifu.
Be gone, thought.
Yeah,
But, have you met Naoto yet?
I haven't. To put in reference where I am, I have just saved Rize, and I'm working on the so-called suspect right after her.
Oh, okay. I know where you're at. All right.
Yeah.
You're almost in a Naruto. But yeah, Naruto is best girl. Well, I don't know. I think she is. You probably won't, but I do. But let's see. So Persona 5. It is fantastic. Like the art style in that game is probably the best I've ever seen in any game. Like just the way that the colors like pop out at you and like the words come out and stuff. It's kind of like a comic in a way. And
Yeah,
then
like Persona 4, I don't even know how old it is now because Golden is a remake, basically.
yeah.
And still, when I look at that game, I'm like, this is just like the environments you're in. They're just so interesting and engaging.
Yeah.
And when I think about 5, like a current gen game, and as much as I've heard it from podcasts I've listened to about how, and just from people in general, about how like this game is just so gorgeous, and like I honestly just can't like fathom it right now because I'm like, I don't know, 4 is like really awesome and everything, and then everyone's like, no, 5 is just outstanding.
Yeah, it's true.
Like that just, I don't know, that like really blows my mind.
Yeah, like 4 is phenomenal too though. Like I honestly I'd say they're both on the same like level.
Yeah.
But like oh, that's another thing. The villain in 4 is better. The villain in 5 is good too, but
Um
yeah.
so basically are all of the games like murder mysteries?
Um not really. 3 is way different. 4 5 you're not it's not a murder mystery, you're like thieves and stuff. And then in what do you do in 3? I played a lot of 3, but I didn't beat it like I did the other two. It's it's kind of like a um oh yeah, like people turn into zombies at night and stuff, and then you have to go into the dungeon and like kill these demons so they don't. Like that game was really dark. To summon your persona, you shoot yourself in the head.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
That's messed up, man.
Yeah. And like it looks like blood's flowing out, but it's actually just the persona coming out of you and shit. It's pretty cool.
I'll have, like, I know I probably wouldn't care to play it now because I don't need to like make more of a backlog, especially with like RPGs and JRPGs that are gonna take me so many hours.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I might like watch something or look something up because it sounds super cool.
Yeah, it's a really good game. But I just find 4 and 3 better. I mean 4 and 5, sorry.
Yeah. Would you say that overall you enjoyed 4 more? I don't remember if you said already.
Yeah, I think I do like 4 more. Because, just a little bit though, because the characters and the way that game makes me feel, that's why I like it more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just has a sentimental value to me for some reason. It's just, 4 is honestly like in my top 5 games of all time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I super super love 4 already. Like I don't even remember when I had started it, but I was like, yeah, sure, Persona 4, everyone's recommended it. I'll start it. And then I don't remember how far I had gotten in. I know it wasn't very far, and then I was like got caught up in playing other games and everything, and I don't even remember why I started it again. Like it might have just been out of, oh, it's because I was playing Severed and I had got that platinum. I was like, I need to finish everything on my Vita because I'm debating whether or not I want to like keep it or like sell it and let it have its peace, because let's be honest, the Vita's pretty much dead.
Yeah, I call it my Persona 4 machine.
Yeah. And see, that's the only thing, because another part of me is like, well, if I sell it, I'll regret it, because that's always how it's happened with the Game Boys and, like, um, just, just in general, like, if you sell an old console, you'll be like, well, maybe I should have kept it just because even if I don't play it, there might be a chance that I'll want to.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's what started that whole thing. I was like, sure, I'll get on Persona. I beat Severed, and there's Persona and maybe like 2 or 3 more games on my Vita, which I got
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7 on there, but I also bought that on PlayStation 4 recently, so I deleted that.
Yeah.
And I started it, and like, I don't know what it was, or like I said, I don't know how far I was in it, but I was sold on it. Like, this game, and especially just the day-to-day life, just seems so, it's so fun and addicting, and you're just trying to like fit in at school and get your social links up, and then there's that on top of the story of like the murders in this little small town, and you're trying to like be
Yeah.
the detectives of the case because it's happening to people in your school.
Yeah.
And then I've heard other people call it like personas are kind of like Pokemon, which I guess in a
Yeah, it's a
general
lot
sense
like that
they
a little
are.
bit.
But I do like the actual personas themselves. Like, I had that Snapchat about Ippon Datara, or whatever his name is. And
Oh
I only
yeah.
like him because he looks super cool. And then he
Yeah.
has moves that I use a lot. So, like, yeah, this is my man. But the thing about it is, after a while, they don't level up and get new abilities. So I'm like, kind of at this point right now in my own game where I'm like, is he worth keeping? Like, this dude is my favorite, but I don't know because he's not going to get more powerful abilities.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, my favorite thing so far I sent you a Snapchat of was what happened to Teddy.
Oh yeah, when he was all flat.
Yeah, he was like wiggling around and his eyeballs were popping. I was like, Teddy, no! Oh my god,
Yeah.
why? Jesus, help him!
Oh, that's the one thing. Like the sidekick in 5 is not even close to Teddy. Like Morgana,
Yeah.
she's okay,
Isn't she like
but
a cat woman?
yeah,
Yeah.
like Morgana's okay, but Teddy, it's Teddy. Like you're not gonna
Yeah.
beat Teddy.
He's a big old goofball.
Yeah.
I I mean, I guess in general, like, there aren't any characters in Persona 4 that personally just, like, I feel like you can't just connect to them or on a personal level, like, be like, yeah, I feel for this character and why they have to face themselves to begin with, or why they're trying to repress this. But I
Yeah.
think in some sense there are some people who could, of course,
Yeah.
but in that sense, there aren't any characters that just like grip me, and I'm like, yes, I love these people. But as a whole, and their dynamic as an investigation group, and just all the outside characters, like your
Yeah.
uncle you're living with, and his daughter, and just like people you're doing quest for. I'm like, yeah, I really enjoy all of these people. Like, I don't
Yeah.
even know this dude, but he wanted me to make him a plastic model because he was depressed, and making it will make him happy.
Yeah, for real, man.
It's just little things like that. You're like, no, there aren't like solid, like really awesome stories that want me to delve more into the world and that kind of sense. But then there's just all these little things and how everyone works together, and like Yosuke, for example, like, I don't
Yeah.
really think he's that great of a character, but he's just funny enough and goofy enough. You're like, yeah, you're cool. I want to keep you.
Yeah, Yosuke's honestly my favorite.
Yeah. I really like Kanji.
Kanji's awesome too.
I like him in the
Kanji, get
fact
bent
that
Tatsume.
he's like denying that he's bisexual, but then
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's in a biker gang. He'll beat you to death." And he's like, "What? No,
Yeah.
I don't like bikers. I was trying to keep them away." Yeah, just silly stuff like that in the game. I know, like, of course, it just left my brain now that I said I know. There was something I vaguely remember about just how, like, the game is just silly, and it will do these weird quirks. Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
remember now. Like when you go to Inaba City. Wait, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
The
Inaba.
one where no, Inaba's the main town. Okina, that's what I'm trying to
Okay,
say.
no, okay, yeah.
Where you go to the theater and stuff. You go there for absolutely no reason. You can have a contest with Kanji and Yosuke to pick up the most girls' numbers. Like that
Oh
doesn't mean
yeah,
anything, but that's just
yeah.
such like a fun little like quirky experience. Like no, it doesn't add anything to the characters or the story necessarily, but it's just goofy and like they're teens or kids and that's something they would do. And like one of the ladies I walked up to, she was like, "Yeah, I'm a married woman." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in high school." And she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, um I don't think we can talk." And then I'm like, "Oh, dang, didn't get her number." So I go up to another girl and I'm like, "What's up?" And she's like, "I'm just waiting." And I'm like, are you waiting for me or something like that?" And she was like, "Oh, yeah, here's my number." And I was like, "Sweet, I scored a number. That's probably more than those other two fools got." And like we regroup and they're like, "Oh my God, you got her number? Call her." And I call her and it's like, "This is her boyfriend. I'm gonna murder you if you." And you hang up.
Oh yeah, I
Like just
forgot
stuff
about
like
that.
that. Like it doesn't mean anything, but it's an
Yeah,
awesome experience. It's just
yeah,
really fun.
for real, man.
So yeah, I'm really really digging Persona. I'm like 47 hours in, I think.
Oh damn.
And as far as story goes, I don't know how far in that is.
Um, the game is about 80 hours long.
Yeah. But where I said I was at earlier, how far would you
Hmm.
think that is?
Um, you're about in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously if I've put that much time in already, I'm sold on doing it, and I'll probably not probably I will do a second playthrough at
Yeah.
least because I do want to get the platinum. Which one thing that kind of sucks is the guide I was following, like there's a trophy for reading all the books in a single playthrough. So I was working on getting all the books, and I would say I'm like halfway through the books. And
Hmm.
then it turned out I've missed one because
Oh damn.
one list was just like, here's the books, and then there's the ways you can get them, but some of them were just like courage level something or strength level something, and I was like, I don't know what that means. And then it turns out that there are encounters you can have throughout the game, like the one I missed. The guy from the basketball team will call me and be like, "Hey, come hang out." I was like, "Well, I want to do something else today," so I said no. But it turns out you're supposed to go with them and you get a book.
Oh
So I
yeah.
missed that. So now I'm like, I'll have to do that in my next playthrough.
Yeah.
So the thing I've been doing more lately is I'm trying to get my diligence up because
Yeah.
I just need that up in general. And then I'm doing a lot of fishing because I really want to catch the big sea creature.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Did you ever face the Reaper?
I don't think I did. That does
Like,
sound familiar though.
yeah, he's just a boss that every 21 chests you open or something like that, there is a random chance that in one of the normal loot chests you open that he might be in there. So I
Oh.
was like, I heard his chains rise and was like, is this it? Is this happening? And so I start looking around, and like I hadn't really looked into the boss himself. I just knew he was in the game and that he was in chest. So there's a gold chest left, the only one on the floor, and I was like, yeah, he's got to be in this one. So I open it and nothing, and I was like, oh, that absolutely sucks. Like I was ready to see what this dude was about, even though
Yeah.
he probably would have slaughtered me because I was only like 25 or something, level 25. But anyway, he's really complicated. There's a way to grind, like, getting his fight, which I'll probably do, because the way he really works is that you could open all of the normal chests on a floor, you could get to 21, and there would be no more regular chests left on the floor, like
Yeah.
my first experience was, but he would still pop up. and would be nothing you could do about it. Like, you couldn't actually face him because you need to open a regular chest.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks, but yeah, that'll happen sooner or later.
Just wait till you can get the job at the hospital and you can hook up with the nurse.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, that was one
dude.
hilarious thing Evan told me about.
Yeah.
Was that he cheated on Chie with Yukiko. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Like,
yeah,
he
you
had
can
both
date
of them
every
for
single
Halloween,
one, and if you'll find, and they'll find out or whatever.
Yeah, and she found out, and Chie gave him, like, spicy food or something, like, hidden in chocolates, and I thought that, like, that is so hilarious, because, like, games just don't do that.
For real. I know, man.
So, yeah, I'll probably play a ton more of Persona.
Yeah. So, as the final topic, would you want to say, like, your game of the year or something? Did you play any of the new games last year, Trevor?
I can look really quick.
Okay.
Like I said, I know I didn't play many. I know I own, like, a decent amount of them, though.
Yeah.
Battlefront 2, of course.
Yeah.
I think Syndicate was 2016. Yeah, because Origins was last year.
Mm-hmm.
Was Destiny 2 2016?
No, that was last year, bro.
Okay.
It's only been out for...
Yeah, because it's the first DLC just now came out.
Yeah.
Those might be the only two I played. I'm not... Yeah.
Damn, dog.
Yeah, and there's, like, so many really good games that came out last year.
Yeah.
Like, I have Resident Evil 7, I have Prey.
Prey's a good one.
I don't even remember. I know I have a couple of them because I wanted them when they were on the sales, of course.
Yeah.
So, yeah, between the whole two games of 2017 I played, I'll go with Battlefront 2.
Damn.
In my defense, Dylan, you play a lot of games, but you don't beat all of them.
That's true. Fine. I will name the top 5 games I played last year, just to make the topic just a little bit longer before I end it.
Okay.
Let's see. Number 1.
I can look at your games.
Number 1. Obviously, Persona 5. Breath of the Wild. Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh my god. That's another thing, like, that came out in January. And that's happening again this year, like...
That came out
Shadow
in
of the
February,
Colossus.
bro.
Well, Shadow of the... Oh, it's Resident Evil that came out in January.
Yeah.
But, like, still, right at the beginning of the year for games like that to come out, and it's happening again this year, that just blows my mind.
Yeah, I can't wait for Shadow of the Colossus.
The Jak and Daxter trilogy release came out last year.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wolfenstein, the new Colossus, I want to play so bad.
Yeah,
the Fractured Butthole.
I own that. I haven't beaten it yet, though.
Yeah, I'm looking at your trophy list since you'll have more games from last year.
Yeah.
The Insane trilogy.
That game was fucking hard, dude. I couldn't
Was
deal
Friday...
with it.
Was Friday the 13th, 2016?
No, it came out last year.
Oh my god. Yeah, P5, Prey. Kingdom Hearts remix games I really still want to play.
Yeah, those came
Neo.
out last year too.
Neo was
awesome. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Neo was awesome.
Samurai Dark Souls game.
Yeah.
Was Dishonored 2 last year?
Yeah, was that... Wait, was it?
I feel like it was November, December of 2016.
Oh, yeah, it was 2016, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think Watch Dogs 2 was late 2016.
That was a very underrated, underappreciated game. Because I did not like the first one at all, but the second one... Yeah, some of the dialogue was hipster trash, but it was still a fun game.
Yeah, I'm super excited to play it. I had it downloaded, but I removed it for GTA.
Oh,
But yeah, what would you say your game of the year would be?
it's definitely Persona 5.
Yeah, I think Zach said the same, didn't he?
Yeah. Then Breath of the Wild, Horizon. What else? Probably Tales of Berseria. Very niche JRPG that came out in early January. Really good game. And
Yeah,
then,
one of the Vita games I have is Tale of Hearts R.
yeah. Then,
That Switch game where you
oh,
jerk
Mario
a
Odyssey.
gorilla off. Oh.
Oh, that wrong game. But yeah, I think the Mario Odyssey is probably my fifth favorite.
Was that like... I don't even know what that was.
What Odyssey?
Yeah.
Did you ever play Mario 64?
Yeah.
It's basically a sequel to that.
Okay. Yeah, I figured it would be... I figured by now they wouldn't keep doing platformers and it would be a 3D world.
Yeah.
But I didn't know exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. We can do another podcast another day.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, if you guys get this far, thank you for listening.
You are a star. You have dedicated an hour, 6 minutes, and 30 seconds of your lives to our wonderful, illustrious voices, and we will continue to soothe your minds and your anuses.
For real, man. For real. But thank you for joining us to the rebooted Witless Productions podcast.
Reboot.
Yep. Say goodbye to our audience, Trevor.
Goodbye, everyone.
Peace, everybody.